Namaste to all. My respects to the people on the dais and wonderful audience, vibrant audience. I'm very happy about the discussion that went on. I would add a couple of points to what beautifully they have presented, particularly because I said that you have to have patience. In this context, I would like to add a couple of things. You know what? In Ramayana time, Gandhara Desha, they came forward to Rama and said, why don't you annex us so that we will also progress like you do? This is an evidence that is there. And then we have done that. Similarly, like that today also, somehow for some reason that they have gone away, but they are requesting us, please annex us. Baluchistan is requesting, and Punjab is requesting, Sindh is requesting, so that let's not be in a hurry to call it as Bharat, and once everything becomes together, let's call it as Bharat. The second point is, I have some social groups, friends from Pakistan, from Afghanistan, and Holland. They're all part of my group. And then we have so many discussions. And whenever the discussions come, it's nothing to do with politics, it's nothing to do with it's only about the social groups that we have. In that social group, I just try to answer giving some examples. And that is, I quote from Bhagavad Gita, I quote from Ramayana. I say that this is from Ramayana, which is 6,700 years old. Bhagavad Gita, 6,000. Vedas, which is about 8,000 years old. I said, my friends from the other group, they say that, look, whenever you talk, you say 7,000 years, 8,000 years, etc., etc. Whereas, whatever that we would like to quote, we don't go more than 100 years. Where are they? I said, because you identified yourself with the political boundary, geographical boundary, you are suffering. Remove that. We are all one. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam starts from there. Let's do that. And our leaders, as Madam very beautifully said, they are really working so hard to see that how this idea becomes a reality, not from the leaders, but from the common people, that it's no more Bharat, it is no more India, it becomes Bharat. In fact, I tell you, in that context also, I happened to go to Ukraine, Belarus and all that, and there they practice Homa, Havan. And particularly Ukraine, when I went there to give a talk, the dean said, if you talk in Hindi, we understand. If you talk in English, you have to translate the Ukraine language. I said, all of you know Hindi? He said, yeah. I said, how do you know that? Their question really baffled me. Their answer, they said that, in your mantras you say, Bharatakande, Bharatavarshe, Bharatakande, like that. And Bharatakande, after that you say, Himadri Dakshinayani. That means south of Himalayas. Which means basically that very mantra indicates that Uttarayana also there is Bharatakanda, that aspect of it. We all belong to that. Why do you separate us out? That means they all want to be Bharat. They want to be Bharat. Whether it is Ukraine, whether it is Belarus, whether it is Ukraine, it's all part of Bharat. In fact, recently also that I came across, Russia, somebody said that all the religious ideas of Russia originally are taken from Bharat. So this way, that it is not that we want. Bharat, world wants it. It's not that we want India to be Bharat. World wants India to be Bharat. Let it happen. Another very important, but then what do we do? This is what is the work of Disha Bharat at the grassroots level. At the grassroots level, Krishna has given us a very simple idea, and I don't go into the whole shloka behind it, but just give the crux of it. He said, almost everybody knows about this shloka, understands about this shloka, but in spite of it, I'll throw a light on that. Dharmasya glanir bhavati, many people have translated, dharma declines. Dharma never declines. Please understand that. Only dharma declines is when water stops sweating, when fire stops burning, then dharma declines. It can never happen as long as this creation is there. Dharma never declines. But then what do you mean by glanir bhavati? Dharma is being clouded. Dharma will never come down, but it's clouded. But that, how do we understand dharma being clouded? It is the practitioner of dharma, they feel clouded. I'll give you this small little incident that I was traveling one time, long time ago, in Chennai on bus. And then, in Chennai, when the temple comes, you see the red stripes and white stripes and all that. That indicates whatever God is inside, but it is supposed to be a temple. And people were crowded, standing people and all that. And then that kind of a building came, that red stripes and white stripes. Immediately somebody left his chapel and then did like this and looking at everybody. I felt sad. I caught hold of his collar and said, we want to pray to the God, pray openly. Don't feel shy of it. This is one thing very important, that we shy of our religion. We shy of our practices. We shy of our culture. That we should give it up. This is what is glad. That's what is the clouding of dharma. Dharma will not be clouded otherwise. Fortunately, what happened today, we are really much more bold, because basically, you see, there was one time when I went to India Culture Center in Germany, the head of the India Culture Center said that you talk about yoga but don't talk about religion, Hinduism. I said, what is this? Hinduism cannot be separated from yoga. No, but you talk about stress management yoga, but don't talk about Hinduism. There is the same center today as yoga teacher is appointed in that center. This is a change that has occurred. This is a wonderful difference that has happened in the whole world today. We are definitely marching towards that. And My Bharat is basically the way that Disha Bharat, as a tool of My Bharat, is going forward to see that how we can take this culture from the level of freedom, time, to the level of future of the mankind. In fact, I had given a talk in Delhi in Arvindo Society at one time, and there the topic was that ancient wisdom for the future of the mankind. In fact, our wisdom is never something which goes out of order. Other wisdoms can go. Look at the way cultures are there. Where the Roman culture today? Where the Greek culture? You don't see anything. Mesopotamia. Nobody knows about it. What happened there? Similarly, like that, there are several cultures which went down the history. Look at India. What 10,000 years ago people said Sahana Vavatu? Today also we say that. It shows that we are living vibrant culture, such an extraordinary, wonderful culture in the hands of such people like our great speakers today and the government that is there at the head, all that. I'm sure that we'll be able to do that. Let's do the bit of contribution from our side to see that how we can enliven this culture vibrant again, not for the sake of India, please understand, but for the sake of the whole globe, looking forward for that. Let's look at that particular angle. Once again, my thanks to Disha Bharat for bringing about such a wonderful conclave today, and whole day we are going to enjoy a lot of other things. Thanks to the organizers of Disha Bharat. Silently, I know who are there behind it, but I don't want to take their names. Thank you so much.